Hey everybody, Austin Beals here. I'm honored to be next to Chef Rachel. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. I love working with you, and it's just fun to share ideas and information that inspires people.
Perfect. That's what it's all about. So today we're going to take a look at just a simple, cost-effective, and healthy recipe for a lemonette dressing.
Yep.
Is that correct? And then a salad as well.
Yep.
Awesome. Perfect. What are we starting with?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make a really simple salad dressing, and a lot of people are used to buying salad dressings, and they don't know how easy it is to make your own salad dressing. And it's one of the best ways to economize and also upgrade the kind of oil that you take in.
Wow.
Because
okay.
most salad dressings are made with refined omega-6 rich oils that promote inflammation. And making your own salad dressing is just a breeze. And this is a recipe I call lemonette, and it's like vinaigrette, but I use lemon juice. Since we're here in Arizona and lemons are so plentiful in the winter, this is a great way to use them. And I want to show people how easy it is to do. So a typical ratio is 1 part sour and 2 to 3 parts oil. So that would mean if you have a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, you need 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of oil.
Okay.
And I like to use an extra virgin olive oil or an avocado oil. Those are rich in monounsaturated fats and very flavorful. So we have those 2 ingredients here.
Okay.
All we have to do now is add 1 or 2 teaspoons of mustard, and it could be a yellow or white mustard. If you like the coarse kind of Dijon, you could use that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt.
Okay.
And I like to use either Celtic sea salt or Himalayan or Redmond real salt. They have a lot more minerals than other salts on the market, so you get more flavor and just a better profile. You can put a 1/4 teaspoon, depending on your preference, an 1/8 to a 1/4 teaspoon of white or black pepper that's ground. And white pepper is kind of a little more delicate than black pepper, so that's an option. If you like herbs, you can add 1 or 2 teaspoons of dried herbs. I'm adding dried tarragon here, but you could use a dried basil or an Italian blend. And what you want to do is crumble the herbs between your fingers like this.
Ooh, yeah.
And you can tell if your herbs still have vitality left. If you smell them and then crumble them and more fragrance comes out, they're good. If you crumble them and you don't have more fragrance, then you're ready to compost those herbs and buy some more.
Pretty much dead.
Now another thing we can add here is we can add some garlic. So you could take 1 or 2 cloves of fresh garlic, and you can just flatten it right here with your hand or a knife, put it through your garlic press. Now if your garlic has a little green shoot, like this has a little sprout in the middle, take it out because that sprout is really bitter. And you're going to get rid of the bitterness.
Got it.
Now, when I use the garlic press, what I like to do is take the skin off the garlic first. Then I don't have to push as hard, and I get a higher yield on the garlic.
Oh, wow, yeah.
1 or 2 cloves of garlic here. Now, if you wanted to tone down the tartness a little bit, you could put a little bit of honey in here. You could put half a tablespoon or a tablespoon of raw honey. The only thing when you use the honey, if it's a raw honey, they're usually very thick, so you might need to buzz it in the blender to get the honey emulsified.
Got it.
And sometimes, especially if I do the honey, I'll put a tablespoon of warm water, and that helps to bring all the ingredients together. And what I would say is you might start with the 1/2 cup of oil to a 1/4 cup lemon juice. Taste it, and if it's too tart for your liking, then add the honey or add a little bit more of the oil.
Oh, perfect.
And this is how easy it is. So I put the lid on, and I save jars. The jars from the almond butter, cashew butter. You can save your mustard jars, your olive jars, all those things. And soak the labels off in a sink with a little bit of cheap vinegar, and now you've got the perfect storage vessel. And I just put a wide masking tape on at home and put the name of the dressing and the date, so I use it up in a timely manner. And the coolest thing is, let's say you wanted to make it super convenient and have variety during the week. You could set out 3 jars. You could either use different herbs and spices in each jar. You could use different oils. Or you could do lemon juice, lime juice, orange juice. You've got 3 different dressings.
Oh, wow,
Then you put your oil, and then you go, ooh, I think I'll do tarragon here, basil here, maybe mint here. And you could make 3 jars at a time. You could even make, if you're cooking for more than 2 people, you might make double batches of each.
Wow, yeah.
And you could even do 1, 2, 3 in the blender if you want to make it really quick. And if you're going to use fresh herbs, the blender is great for buzzing the fresh herbs to get them powdered. Because you need 3 times more if you're doing a fresh herb.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So if you have a teaspoon of dried tarragon, if you were going to use fresh, you'd need a tablespoon.
Got it, yeah.
And so it's so easy to pull that together, you could see. And it's a great way to make something that's delicious. It's going to make you excited about eating your salad with tasty dressing.
Yeah, that you made yourself.
Exactly.
Totally simple.
And this is just one of many ways that you can make real food at home that's not fussy, it's not complicated, and we're talking like a couple minutes to pull it together.
Super simple.
Yeah.
Very quick. Yeah, it's not one of those where people no longer have an excuse to not eat healthy because they don't know how, or because it takes too long, or because it costs too much. Excuses out the window. I believe that an excuse is a well-planned lie. And so what we've done here is just thrown that out the window and made it super simple for people to make their own dressing.
Absolutely, and this is just one of many recipes in my Garden of Eating cookbook they're really practical.
This one here?
This is the cookbook here.
Okay.
And what I like to emphasize is a theme and variation approach to cooking. So you have a master recipe like lemonette.
Yeah.
You make lemonette, orangette, there are vinaigrette recipes. And then most of the recipes in this book have different variations because most people think, well, what herbs and spices go with what foods? So I have all these variations. So you could literally make this recipe every week for a month and make it a little different each time.
Oh, cool.
And then the more you make it, the more that recipe becomes etched in your brain.
Wow.
Like the directions to the places you drive.
Yeah.
Or the phone numbers before auto dial, when you used to memorize all those phone numbers.
Exactly.
And after a while you didn't have to think about it, you just pull up that phone number, or you pull up the recipe in your mind because you've made it so much that it's etched in there.
Yeah, and then you can, because it's such a natural part of your cooking habits, you can easily just change it a bit and make a completely different recipe.
Exactly. Like let's say you have a handful of fresh mint or a handful of parsley. Maybe you even have a 1/4 cup of parsley in the fridge you've been meaning to use up, or some basil. You could just say, you know what, instead of tarragon, I'm just going to toss that little handful of fresh parsley or fresh basil into the blender, and you use up what normally would have gone to waste, and you know it's going to come out because you've made that recipe many times, and you know that just a simple flavor change like that is going to work.
Yeah, that is so cool. So all those different variations are in the book. You explain what goes well with other foods and everything. Wow, that is awesome. The Garden of Eating.
And just imagine you have your salad dressings, you have 1 or 2 salad dressings in the fridge already made, and then you throw together a beautiful salad like this. We've got rainbow radishes in here, we've got tomatoes, cucumber, little bok choy, scallions, baby greens, and why don't you give that a little stir?